Well, Jason Vargas could have made it easy last night. Could have given up 7 runs in the first inning against the Royals and made it real simple, that he wouldn't have much value. The Mariners would probably keep him and move on from there. Instead, he nearly throws a no-hitter.
Right.
And has had a terrific July, 4-0 in the month of July, even a couple of good outings on the road. And it begs the question, Shannon Drayer asked it in one of her Mariner Insiders, was that his last start as a Mariner?
Boy, I think unless they're blown away with the deal or they get something around the equivalent of a Doug Fister deal.
So a couple of guys like
that can play right now,
yep,
and maybe prospects attached. I can't see him making that deal because he's worth more to the Mariners than I think any other team out there right now. Now maybe that'll change with desperation move at the deadline on the 31st, but I just think he's a guy that's been kind of tagged as a Safeco pitcher. You play 81 games a year at Safeco. He's going to, unless he goes to the Padres out there at Petco Park or he goes to the Giants out there in their park, I don't know how many teams are going to look at him and say this guy can really have a big impact with us. So I think he's a guy that they can sign for cheap in baseball dollars. Mm-hmm. We talked about the potential of a 3-year, $21 million deal, $7 million.
Because he's got arbitration starting this year,
right,
so you get out of that.
And the thought is he'd be anywhere from $8 to $10 million in arbitration. Kind of guessing where he'd be. So he's still a guy. You sign him to a 3-year deal, let's say, he's still tradable. And in fact, I would think that would make him even more desirable to a team that's actually got a bigger payroll, that they could look at that and go, well, here's a lefty who's going to be 30 years old. That's a very friendly contract. You're not locked in long term, and you're not locked in for a lot of money. So I think, if anything, that makes him even more attractive, having that control at that value.
It's funny, in a way, it makes me think of your comments on Chris Clemens. Completely unrelated, but when will Jason Vargas have higher value than he has right now? I mean, he is on pace to win 18 games with an ERA under 4 as a left-handed starting pitcher. I mean, those are awesome numbers. Again, Bob points out, 19 of the 25 home runs he's given up have been on the road. He's only shown in the last month a tendency to pitch better on the road, but I just don't know when his value will ever be higher than it is right now. He is a starting lefty. You pointed out in the Pfister deal, they got Casper Wells, Charlie Furbush, so a guy on their pitching staff and in their rotation in the outfield. You would think they could get something like that for Vargas. If they can, I think they should do it. Otherwise, definitely the 3-year deal that you're talking about makes all the sense in the world. The only thing that doesn't make any sense would be to just let him go to arbitration.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they would do that unless they were leery of committing that money, thinking, all right, if we commit $21 million over 3 years and this guy goes into a tank, we're on the hook. Whereas they can look at, all right, we bite the bullet for 1 year, he goes into the tank, we're done at the end of the year. I mean, that's the only scenario where I think they would look at it as being attractive at all. To me, a deal at $7 million, and we're guessing, maybe it'll be less, maybe it'll be a little more. But if you're going $21 million over 3 years, something in that neighborhood, I just think they can win. Either way, he's really good, you keep him. He's really good, he's attractive to another team. You ask even more because you've got that club control at a very reasonable price.
So extension or trade him, but no arbitration?
Arbitration makes no sense.
None whatsoever. Really, zero, zip, none.